You boys look like a weird heavy metal band.
Yes, we are a band.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you play?
Symphonic, post-apocalyptic, reindeer-grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war, pagan, Fennoscandic metal.
Right. Really interesting.
Here. We never should have come here. I never.
Chloe! Chloe, no! What the fuck? What the fuck? Chloe! Where are you? What the fuck is happening? Chloe! Chloe! Go ahead! Go ahead! No, hang on! Hang on!
What up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on the Meltdown Radio podcast. You just saw the trailer for a new movie called The Children of the Woods, 2024. Found footage film directed by Jake Robinson. Cast is kind of divided up in like three groups almost. Even though there's more people in the film, there's like basically 7 main players in this. And so we have Sarah Robinson and Sean Robinson, who play Blair, and Billy Morgan and Blair Watson. Danny Robinson plays Keith Barnes. There's kind of a theme here between the director and these actors. Right?
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Yeah, I think they're all related in some way. You have to be, right? Just too many Robinsons here. Kelsey Ann Baker, who plays Luna Grace. Tyler Jean plays Alex Anderson. And Angel Bradford plays Chloe Coleman. And then Nikki Parks plays Detective Dale Lincoln. So these are your main cast here. The plot is a secretive group known as the Children of the Woods has gained infamy for their malicious activities involving kidnapping and sacrificial rituals deep within remote forests. The sinister group operates under the cover of darkness, preying on unsuspecting individuals who enter their territory, turning the peaceful woodland into a frightening setting for their evil deeds. While cases of the missing persons date back to the 1980s, the most well-known incident occurred in January 1999 in York, South Carolina, where 5 people disappeared. This dark history has been largely ignored or covered up, but filmmaker Jake Robinson has recently uncovered it and plans to shed light on the truth hidden within the woods. So if you go to their website, it's thechildrenofthewoods.com, and if you've been into found footage films for a while, you'll notice it has like a similar vibe and feel of probably the originator of the found footage Blair Witch Project. And this, I'll get into more how this film kind of plays into some of that. But obviously I came into this knowing about this project through the actress Angel Bradford, who I know online. I follow her stuff. She's a great actress, cool, nice woman, and does a great job. I've been a big fan of hers for a couple of years now. So I knew through the film that she was in this. So they offered like a pre-screening of it. I wanted to check it out. They gave me the honor to do this and do a review on it. So much appreciated to the filmmakers for allowing me to do this. But Angel continues in my mind to impress with her acting chops and her versatility with the characters that she portrays. She's been working very hard the last couple of years. She's got like a slew of films out and some that are still coming out that she's working on. So big kudos to her. As far as the actors, though, like all of them did pretty good with the content and the script and everything they had. Like they all had like a nice chemistry working together. Like even it's funny because things that you would see normally in a film you don't pay much attention. So for instance, when they're hiking through the woods, there's this little bit of banter and discussions going on. So it's kind of like they worked very well as if they're really doing this. And that's sort of what found footage is. It's supposed to make you feel like it's real life, real footage, real things going on. So the friendship that they have together seems very genuine, and the way the actors portray these characters works very well. Um, Angel also is a special effects person, so she did some of the work on this film as well. And even though there's not like a whole lot of gore or anything, there are some in the film that you will notice, and I'm sure she played a part in some of that and how that was done. As I said before, it definitely has like a Blair Witch Project vibe about it. The aesthetic, the atmosphere, the grittiness of the video at night. Just things that you would notice if you ever saw that film back in the day. Uh, Certainly plays a factor in the influence on this film, and so you'll notice that right off the bat. I like how the film kind of goes back to the basics with the handy cam, and again, there's like this feeling of dread even during the daylight. It's just there's this dread going on. So basically, what you have as far as like the plot line here is these group of people are going to find this tree out in the forest that Chloe Coleman, who's portrayed by Angel Bradford, who lost her husband. I'm assuming through suicide or something, because there is a mention that why would he do this in the film. So even though there's not like a heavy backstory on what happened there, I think that's kind of what we gather is the case. And so she has his ashes, and she's going to go with this group of friends to uh, dump the ashes by this tree that he really loved out in this forest. So that's what basically brings them out here. It doesn't take long. This movie's only like it runs like under an hour, so obviously the pacing's pretty consistent. And so very quickly, you start hearing noises, the branches breaking, and we initially they knock it off as like animals just roaming around, which is always possible. Like no reason to freak out, but when you think about the woods and like just how creepy it can be. So just a story for myself. This is what the fear of the mind killer can do to you. So I was hanging out at my friend's house. His mom lived in a house that was kind of surrounded by all these trees. And, I'm obviously out here in Maryland. So, which ironically, Burkittsville is the scene for Blair Witch, but I wasn't out that way. But anyway, thing about Maryland is there are times when the fog is so heavy that it's very creepy at night. And so if you've only got like this bit of light from the house and all these trees, the shadows, and of course I torture myself by playing songs like, Dance Macabre by Celtic Frost. And so therefore I'm like creeping myself out just sitting in my car. Like that's how fucking crazy it is. So imagine just being out in the middle of the woods at a place that you're not overly familiar with, surrounded by nothing but darkness. And then hearing these noises and stuff, whether they're animals or not, it could be deer, it could be anything. So certainly they start hearing noises, and then by the next morning, it gets even worse. Is there's basically like painted on a upside down crosses on the tents, on the trees. Kind of leads to the idea that some sort of satanic cult or whoever is out there playing tricks on them or trying to frighten them. And this, of course, comes on the heels of the stories that are told to the group by one of the members that people went missing out in the forest. So, like, it's not like the thing you want to hear the most while you're out there trying to dump some ashes, but certainly it just sets the tone for the movie. And then, of course, they start being tracked and hunted by some people out in the forest, and we don't necessarily see what happens to them when they're kind of abducted here and there, but we do see that these are masked figures that show up and they basically clubbing you or hitting you with an axe or something. I'm not going to give too much away in terms of plot. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to watch this, but certainly, the movie is very fast paced, so it goes by really nicely. Nice touch of edits. But I do have some gripes, I would say. On one hand, my first gripe is kind of hypocritical or contradictory to what the movie's trying to achieve. So you're going with this found footage, you want the grittiness, you want the realism, but at times the camera goes kind of fuzzy on certain scenes, and so like you're kind of like, no, I want to see this, but it does take away from the general aesthetic that they're trying to achieve with the film. But it is kind of a frustrating moment as a viewer to try to see something that, oh shit, it doesn't happen a lot in the film, which is good, but there were certain moments I noticed it happened. And I was like, damn it, no. um and then the biggest gripe that I would have, and it's not anything that's going to hurt the movie, um but I would have loved, and I'm not going to tell you who or why, but I wish there was a twist at the end with the remaining characters, especially Blair Watson and the detective. I wish there was a twist ending. And I'll only say this: if you're somebody who's ever seen the 1988 film Spellbound with Kelly Preston, you know what I'm talking about. It's the kind of twist that I wish would have happened here, because I think it would have give this film an even more frightening conclusion to a film that was already kind of like scared as shit, scary as shit in terms of feeling. And that's my biggest gripe here, is because it kind of played by the numbers by the end, and so like I was like, yeah, okay, it's cool, but I kind of expected this. But there was just a scene where I thought, oh shit, that would have been cool if so and so turns around and there they are, like, holy shit. But yeah, that's probably my only gripe, is I wish there was that kind of like spellbindish twist ending that would have really hooked everybody in, I think. And certainly, uh, judging by the website and what they're saying, they might try to continue this little saga on, which would be great. Uh, but yeah, that's really it for me on that. I would give this film probably a 8 out of 10. It did a nice job of hitting that nostalgia of the Blair Witch and stuff like that. So if you're really into the found footage stuff, I know a lot of people are crazy about it. This is definitely a movie you want to check out and probably own, because I thought it was really well done, especially for an independent film. Like, you're not expecting big budgets here, but for what they had to work with, man, it came out really nice. And all I say is just that ending, man, should have came to me. No, just kidding. But yeah, I would have done something a little different there personally. But yeah, man, like check out this film. I don't know when they're gonna. I think it's on Steam right now, so I think you can go watch it. I don't know if it's gonna pop up anywhere else, like maybe Tubi or something at some point, maybe. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And thank you all for allowing me the privilege to watch this and rate it and review it for you. So, recommended, DJ Anubis. Check it out. And yeah, see you next time here on the Middletown Radio Podcast.
You see me for